Hey, what's going on guys, Corrali here, welcome back to another Osu discussion video, or OS depending on how you like to pronounce it, although I will tell you guys that it is technically pronounced OS. I'm just assuming this, but in the Japanese language anyway, things like, you might see at the end of things, there'll be des and mas, well not mas, but des. It's actually spelled desu in English, but you actually just pronounce it des. It's because you can't directly translate Japanese into that, but whatever. I don't really want to get into that. But anyway, basically I'm going to be talking about what is better, mouse or tablet, or pretty much just any medium, and I'm also going to be discussing what I personally use and find good for me. So pretty much I'm just going to talk about what most players start out as. So pretty much most people, they here click the circles and then they grab their mouse and they start clicking the circles, and then after they just fail the tutorial a couple of times, they probably search up a video on YouTube like, oh, how to get better at OS, or you know, they probably just watch a couple of things. They'll notice people using their mouse and clicking Z and X on their keyboard. I personally use 1 and 2. That's just what is most comfortable for me. I did use Q and W for a while, but 1 and 2 I think is my sweet spot. I also did use D and F for a brief period of time, but then I moved my keyboard into a slightly different location, so that no longer feels comfortable. And D and X is just Z and X is just very weird for my position because I have my keyboard up above my tablet, so it's pretty weird. But yeah, so you know, people use mouse and then they start clicking. Then they'll notice some people using a tablet, so they sort of go onto that. Then what they'll do is they'll get their tablet and they'll start tapping with their tablet, and then they'll see that people use keyboards with tablets as well, so they'll do that, and then it just goes on from there. So, okay, basically, it doesn't really matter what you use, as long as whatever you use is the most effective and comfortable for you. Quite frankly, I'm a tablet player, so I play tablet and keyboard. I used to not be able to play keyboard, so I used to just play tablet, but I've realized that actually it didn't make my streams very consistent and accurate, so yeah, I kind of had to just force myself to use that in a way, and now I'm definitely better, but it was a hard process, and a lot of people probably would have just stuck into using tablet. I know that wasn't a word, but I just used it anyway, and I'm honestly not too bad with mouse either. I sometimes just play mouse because I find it enjoyable. My mouse is comfortable to use for me. I think I'm a little better with tablet, but I can still play relatively okay with mouse. Whereas, you know, OS is a game where I feel like it's more about your actual kind of clicking control rather than your accuracy control. Like, it's pretty easy to actually just follow the rhythm. The hard part is, like, clicking, I feel like is the most training you need, and really that doesn't matter because it's just 2 keys. It's pretty easy, and the reason you don't want to use the mouse keys or touch the tablet is it's too much for your brain in one hand. It means that you're doing the clicking and the movements, whereas this, you'll see instant improvements, honestly. It means you're separating it, so your brain only has to focus on the accuracy and then only has to focus on the clicking. It's just, trust me, it's so much better. You guys have to do it. But also, don't go out and buy yourself a tablet if you feel fine with a mouse. I mean, maybe get a cheap one if you want to just test it out, but don't go ahead and buy yourself a super expensive one. Now, for me, I actually had a tablet before I started playing OS. You see, I'm actually a digital artist, and I had a pretty decent tablet. I have the Wacom Intuos Pro Medium, and I had that, and I definitely don't use all the space, because the space is about, like, I'd say, like, 2/3 of my keyboard, right, in width. I have the Razer Black Widow Ultimate 2016 edition, and I made the portion size about probably maybe I'd say 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, which is probably about 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters or something. So yeah, it's probably, yeah, I don't really know inches because I'm not one of those imperial countries, I'm metric, but yeah, it's about 4 centimeters by 4 centimeters, and it's a very small portion, but it very does help. So yeah, that is basically how I play, but as I said, just play how you want. The only thing is I would say tablet is better for is no doubt. I mean, you can get good with a mouse, but I think anybody would just be better at spinner on pen, because everybody can draw in a circle shape, and you can draw them so much more fine and precise, whereas mouse, yeah, you can, and if you got really good, but I feel like it's just so much work on your wrist, whereas the pen is just so much precise and easier, and I think tablet's better for jumping as well. But anyways, that pretty much sums up this discussion video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.